Welcome back, guys. This is Tasteless and Wolf. We just saw that first best of 3. I gotta say, a very underwhelming best of 3.
It was not the best series we've ever seen. Definitely a lot of mistakes on both sides.
I'm not gonna polish a turd for you guys. That was a pretty lackluster best of 3.
We had so many strategies that Trap tried, and it was basically his success in the series was based off of either his strategy being scouted or not.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he was. Look, I am all for whether it's cheesing or just trying to pull a fast one, canceling buildings, crap like that. But that was just 3 attempts of Trap just to pull a fast one.
Yeah.
One with a build that didn't seem to work on the map, but maybe, hey, who knows? Maybe Sue won't catch on. He'll win with that. Game number 2, I'm just going to take an expansion because people aren't doing this at this rate. Normally they get a Stargate first.
Yeah.
And okay, it worked that time. Then the third game, you know, he hit the pylon, it's crossbots, I get it, okay. It's hard to kill a Zerg when they're far away from you, so he's going to try to pull another fast one. But by then, you have to wonder, is Sue just looking at this and saying, well, aren't you, I mean, by now I've adapted to the fact that you're clearly being a sneaky player.
Yeah. After that, I feel pretty confident that I would actually vote Hero as a second player to get out of the group and not.
Yeah, same for me.
Trap.
I looked at Trap and I'm thinking, well, I mean, I don't know.
He just didn't. He respected Sue very much, but he didn't try to play his own game. He just tried to trick Sue essentially, rather than playing straight up against him. Here's Bbyong, our only Terran left, of course, in the round of 16. He wants to join Maru in the round of 8 and give us a 100% clear rate for Terrans.
Yeah, man. Stop all the whining about balance. Bbyong is very good. You have to consider, I know that, you know, both you and I, in our toast as well, we've said, well, you know, we're not super impressed with him, but look, you got to give Bbyong credit where credit is due. There were a lot of Terrans that tried to get into Code S and didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
He's one of 2 that got into the round of 16. Now, Maru is a badass and just shot through, but the question is, can Bbyong do it here? I don't know. From what I saw in the round of 32, I'm not feeling as confident for him.
You're not convinced, you know? I'm not either.
By the way, we have Hero here. Now, there are 2 heroes in StarCraft II.
Yes.
Don't be confused that this hero looks radically different from the one that you might be more used to watching years ago in the GSL.
He's also much shorter and, of course, doesn't capitalize the H in his ID. And he's from CJ Antis.
Capitalizes the O.
He does. Don't confuse him with Liquid here. That's the other player we're talking about.
Yep. Now, the map is going to be Habitation Station.
There's a gold base on this map.
This map's interesting. So, apparently the Protosses can just walk over there and take the gold base. I didn't think it was going to be doable for a while, but they keep doing it.
Yeah.
Now, the other issue, though, is how does Bbyong going to do this? He's done a lot of SCV pulls very, very early on. And in the late game as well. Is he going to do it here? If he does, this hero has studied him enough to adapt. Anyways, we're going to go on to our second best of 3 here at the GSL Code S with Tasteless and Wolf.
2014 Hot 6 GSL Season 1 Round 16 Hero versus Bbyong.
I don't think... I mean...
Yeah, please.
Do you think we're going to see a natural at the gold base? I don't think so in this matchup. It feels too risky.
I don't think so, but I think the quick third here is more doable in most cases. Against a Zerg, for instance, yeah, they just that's like right away. They take it as if it wasn't even removed at all.
Yeah.
Here, we'll have to see. The gold base plays a different role in a PvT.
Go Protoss.
Go Protoss.
Best season
ever. I agree. Unfortunately, we did not get the 13 Protosses we all wanted in the round of 16, or that would have just been the best GSL ever.
No, we got the 2 Terrans we deserved.
That would have saved esports right there.
It's definitely a great season for Protoss fans. And also, if you're a Protoss player who struggles with Protoss versus Protoss, we're going to get that Group C coming up next week. You can see all those PvPs.
Yeah. I'm wondering how long that day is going to be, or maybe not long, because PvP is so short.
It can be very short, or it can be like a bit drawn out.
Well, the thing about PvP is that after you get to this certain point, then neither player can really hurt each other, and then they just start to mass up, and you have to deal with like late game PvP. So I'm wondering, what exactly is Bbyong going to do here? It looks like he's just going to get a command center. One of the safer ways to get a command center.
Yeah.
That is a really good drawing.
Talking about going to the next round of 8. Looks like play XP Eden, which is the artist of this.
I've always been amazed at how many people that watch StarCraft are also very good at art.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
I wonder if that's just because is it because intelligent people follow games, especially competitive games, or is it also a combination of the fact that the art in StarCraft is so gorgeous, the game's graphically it looks really good,
conceptually even, you know?
Yeah. I mean, is that what draws people into it? It's always fascinated me.
Yeah. For example, I don't know if you know this. You probably do, but Doa is actually like an excellent artist. He can draw so well.
Yeah, I've heard that. I heard Doa is like really good. Did he majored in art, but art, not history, but
maybe art history, something with art.
Okay, so by the way, he puts the eBay here.
Not a very successful eBay block with the Zealot.
Well, yeah, with the Zealot coming out, a lot of players we saw actually, making a Zealot, and then if they see that there's nothing to be put there, they cancel it and make the Nexus anyways. But he did shut that down.
Yeah, and I mean this is a pretty good Nexus timing. He gets away with it as he would like to. You know, the eBay block not very successful. It's usually designed to punish a Protoss player who cancels that Zealot early on. The Mothership Core is going to come over here, try to get some information. He's going to find out that there's a triple barracks follow-up. Zealot not going to be so lucky to scout anything.
Yeah, he does lose mostly shields. The Mothership will poke in here, get a read on what's going on. He's going to see that there are 2 more barracks, making it to total it up at 3. Oh, he's got to be careful here.
Does he have enough energy? No, he does not.
He'll get away.
Scary, though, for a moment.
Yeah. Bruised Mothership. The Forge is coming down here now. Both these guys have a little bit of wiggle room as they're just building up. Neither player can, shut down the other one due to the way these 2 openings turned out. We have a tech lab, now being made.
Yeah, he's built up his mineral count, his marine count decently here, and will probably try to bait out a Nexus cannon as soon as he can. The upgrades are going to line up pretty evenly here, but obviously the longer the time goes on, the more the Protoss is going to get, ahead because of the chrono boost.
Yeah, that's very true. We have Stim on the way here, and a robotics facility now coming out here. Armor for the Protoss, everything very standard right now. Both these guys doing very safe, solid builds. If you wanted to copy something to ladder with, these are great builds to go with.
Yeah. Scan goes down here, scouts the Forge, and basically reveals all the tech in the main base, so he knows that upgrades are coming at least. I don't think he's seen the robotics on the other hand, so he's got to be a little bit in the dark right now about what sort of tech he's facing, and he even adds turrets right now in home because he doesn't want to get caught off guard by Oracles or Phoenixes, for example.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so +1 attack is coming here now. We may have just a little bit of downtime here. The Protoss, again, he could not be safer. Just going for that armor upgrade and getting an observer out here. He wants to have a very good idea of what's going on. When you look at the top of this map, there's a big cavity where medevacs can go through uncontested. So
same with warp prisms too.
Yep. Yeah, same with warp prisms. So both the players are going to want to be very cautious about that.
That's part of the reason why the third base is tough to take at the gold here, even because it's so easy to attack by air. And if you're a Terran player, you can attack by ground pretty easily too, especially if you play an SCV Pulse type style like Bbyong has shown us in the past. Might be able to punish that pretty hard.
Okay, now Twilight Council coming down here. Now at this point in time, with the gateways actually being a little bit later than I would have thought, it was safe until now. But if Terran does try to do any kind of timing, Protoss has to be very good with how he controls his army. If there is an engagement here, that refinery getting close to being done now.
Yeah.
And also, with the spread down here, if you look at the bottom, he's got Stalkers out here to check for medevacs. This Observer is going to go up here to the top. And now we have the Colossus tech coming up here with the +1 attack now that armor's finished.
He's completing the whole tree, the whole tech tree that Protoss would like to have.
Yep.
And I wonder, okay, so he's going to get Blink first, which is a pretty good choice for this map. If you're going to take the third base that's far away from your opponent, it's a little bit tougher for him to walk across. Charge doesn't seem as necessary when you're going Colossi. And drop play is so prevalent on this map because of that pocket you were talking about. So yeah. Blink, not a bad choice here.
No, not at all. I mean, Blink is just as good for defense as it is for offense.
Yes.
Especially because some Terran players, let's take Morrow as a better example than Bbyong in this case, but some Terran players are just so drop hungry that if you're a solid defensive player, that medevac might as well be a gift basket,
Yes.
Because you can blink right onto it and take it out. Now let's see what happens here. Again, Blink not done just yet, but I mean, unless he goes through that very narrow area between those two observers, he should just see this. There's not really a chance that Bbyong's going to have any idea that this is completely covered by observers.
For the same reason you described about the medevacs being tough to contest out here, the observer can't really be scanned and killed either, so he's always going to have this vision. And
now he's going to let him... Nope. What Protoss wants to do in this moment is let the drop start up and then engage.
Yeah, he interrupts the reload process and gets a few of those units usually.
Yeah.
So, just adding a bunch of gateways, or rather barracks back at home. And the worker count actually goes to Bbyong here. So you can tell that the Protoss is chrono boosting a lot of units out rather than he's spinning on his probes and also working on his upgrades. And is very probe light here because he's possibly scared of a timing attack. Bbyong has shown a lot of SCV pulls in the past.
He's coming out now, dumping out these zealots. And this is not a bad idea. You can see he's not going to warp in more. He's just going to see if he can't kill some SCVs. This just keeps Terran busy in his base and off the rest of the map. We do have a small number of Terran units, Marines and Marauders, here at the bottom center. You can see a blue army moving down there. There it is now.
It's those two medevacs from earlier.
Yeah.
And he's going to try to use those to cancel a third base if he spots one.
Thermal Lance is about to finish. We have the +2 armor and the +1 attack here. Heroes build actually very tight right now.
Yeah. Adding a bunch of Zealots in right now as well to help buffer for those Colossi, which is really important. And the less Marauders in the composition, the more valuable the Colossi become. He's making Ghosts right now.
Yeah.
And that's good for the Templar transition that will come later, but for right now, Vikings are much more important. Even
That's funny. That's cool. He's actually got the Warp Prism just on patrol to check. I really like that.
Yeah.
If he's not gonna use it to harass, you might as well put it out there.
It's true. It's flying. It's the only thing it can kill it is a Viking. In fact, he's going to send the Vikings all the way down here to chase it. Nice save.
Yep, the Nexus, their Nexus on the way here. And
a few Widowmines. Not going to be too effective.
Whoa, I can't believe that actually got to Burrow there.
Yeah, he's still got a few more in there, but I don't think this is going to work. Takes too long to burrow.
He just attacked his own Twilight Council. That's not a good strategy.
Usually.
In some instances, though.
In most cases.
The Twilight Feigned Attack, they call it. Now, from here, the third base is taken very safely from both of these guys.
Well,
and note that nobody's taken the gold base.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's not a bad idea in this case, since nobody's... You know, if one guy gets really, really greedy, it's just, let's say Hero takes the gold base. Bbyong can just push right over there and take it out, so...
Yeah, punish him. Well, I mean, the 2-2 is finishing up here for Hero right now. That's going to give him, you know, a huge lead over his opponent who's only on 1 eBay right now.
Yeah.
And also does not have an armory. So he's just going to do the SCV pull. Yeah, this makes sense.
Here we go.
Wow.
Let's do this.
There's a lot of Colossi in this army.
Zealot legs are finished. Now, the question is, does he, for instance, give up the third and just back up? Nice job there. Just taking out some of those Vikings. That's going to make a big difference here.
5 Colossi here, and he buys time with the Force Fields. EMPs are almost everything right now because his army doesn't even have as many Marauders as he'd like it to, and he's waited so long. There's so many Colossi here, and the probes are coming off the line as well. He knows he may need them.
All right, here we go.
Good EMPs so far. The Colossi here doing damage, and the Vikings, I don't think there's enough left.
Yeah, I don't believe there are. The Colossi this one time have done the damage they needed to do in a beautiful time warp down there. The Stalkers and everything else pushing forward now. And he's going to drive this all the way back, but the Stalkers can blink underneath these medevacs if they want to, as well as the Vikings.
Part of this is the upgrades as well here. He's just... Now, he has a few more bio units left. There's a lot of Marauders.
Well, you know what? Hold on. Maybe he might just barely do some damage. You know, with the Immortal, though, in the back, I wonder. Now, also important to note is that Hero used probes to defend that. So they both traded a lot of workers there, but
yeah, and
because they both traded workers... They're not even now, but it's a big difference than if, let's say, Protoss held it off and didn't lose any workers. So now it's 45 probes to 33 SCVs.
Yeah, and Terran is pretty okay with being down about 10 to 12 harvesters if they have 3 mules and they're on 3 mining bases.
Yeah.
Because of the extra minerals you get from that. I still like Hero's position much better because he has those additional upgrades, because he has now the ability to start 3-3 at the same time. So, I mean, he needs to resaturate this base.
Yep.
Start Storm.
Now, I'm also wondering, will Bbyong do another SCV pull? I mean, he could do that.
Wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't be a bad choice necessarily
No,
either.
not necessarily, yeah. Okay, well, the worker count's beginning to even up, 48 to 42. Storm is being chronoed out here. Now, one problem is that Storm is just so strong against an SCV pull.
It really is.
The fact that the SCVs are low on HP, normally what you want to have is the SCVs absorb, tank, however you want to phrase it, the first wave of attacks. The Stalker blows, the Zealot hits the Colossi shots. And meanwhile, the stemmed Marine Marauders, when you look at a Terran army, the damage output of stemmed Marine Marauders is higher than anything else in the game. So while the stemmed Marine Marauder ball is doing all this damage, the SCVs have soaked up the first blow. By then, the Protoss army is getting cut down rapidly, and it snowballs out of control. Now, is he going to pull SCVs here? I don't see an SCV Congo line just yet.
If he doesn't, he has to really keep in mind that the Protoss army is probably better than his right now, tech-wise and Colossus count-wise.
For a second, I thought he was blinking under the factory. I was like, no! Don't do that.
Not
worth it. Not worth it. Okay, here's the SCV pull.
This makes sense, but this is really desperate right now. And he needs to split up those Templar, though. The EMPs are really important yet again.
Yeah, he's getting into position here. Backing up now. The SCVs are coming up. Did Storm finish? Did Storm finish?
I think so.
I believe it did. He chronoed it out. I think he should have. But we don't see any Storms just yet. Maybe it's not done.
He's
coming
waiting.
here now.
And there they go. On top of those Vikings, hitting almost all of them. This Terran army is getting annihilated. The SCVs are gone as well. He doesn't even need that Storm. He blinks forward.
He's going to have about 15 workers left after this, which should effectively, if he doesn't win with this attack, cost him the game.
Yeah, blinking underneath the Vikings is just way too much. GG indeed. Hero.
Very straightforward. You know, it's funny because remember years ago when everybody was doing this and it was working?
Yeah.
It's not working anymore, Wolf.
It seems to be figured out. He just went Colossi before Robo. I think part of the problem for Bbyong was that he did not have enough Vikings. He had Ghosts, which did get decent EMPs.
Yeah.
But if he had more resources than Vikings, I think he might have been able to push through, but there were 5 Colossi out. It wasn't like he has 2 or 3 and it's a risky timing.
Also, man, Hero's build was really, really, really safe for the most part. I mean, Bbyong didn't have any real aggression there. I mean, there was a drop that was just out to see if it could do anything, right?
Right.
But, I mean, there wasn't any real aggressive openings there. So Hero was pretty safe the entire time, and he had everything he needed for that SCV pull.
Yeah, if you never do any damage, you never cripple the Protoss, when you do the SCV pull, you're going to hit the full force of the Protoss, right? If you can damage him and mess with his tempo and slow his build, he'll have less units when you hit there, and you're much more likely to succeed as it is.
Look here, Bbyong has picked Alterzim Stronghold.
That's an interesting pick.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to take that map. I guess I don't know what map he would have picked besides this.
Yunsu, maybe?
Maybe. Well, anyways, let's see what happens. So far, Hero is playing very well today. Can Bbyong, the only other Terran besides Morrow, can he win this here, turn this around, and possibly move on to the round of 8 here at the GSL?